Hello there, we're late night tonight. Yes, it's Tuesday the 13th of March 2018 and a nighttime welcome along to tonight's United Kingdom talk coming to you from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire. Hope you're well today. Been very busy today. That's usually on a Tuesday. I've got too much to do sort of in the morning, what with the slimming world and all that. I'll tell you all about that later. Let's say hello to some early people. First message in tonight from Tom Harris in Chicago, over on the Facebook Live. Good evening, Tom. How's the weather over there at the moment? It's kind of warmed up here a bit, but they are predicting more cold weather. Yes, it's going to be disasters are on the way here. Assuming, of course, that Russia doesn't nuke us before the end of the week, which is quite possible. It's all going on, dear. It's all going on. Look at this. Snow forecast. UK warning, beast from the east. Mark II to cover the entire country with heavy snow. However, this hasn't been written by my friend Nathan Rayo, so it might be incorrect. Those of you that don't know, Nathan Rayo is generally the person who writes all the horror stories on the front pages of many of the papers, particularly the Express. Sometimes I've seen him in the Sun as well, and the Star and the Mirror. Anyway, snow is forecast. Yes, bitter easterly winds are coming back, so it's going to be cold all over again. Well, if the nuke doesn't get us, right? If the nuke from Russia doesn't get us, because he's got new weapons, hasn't he, or something, which he reckons can't be stopped. So once he's like push the button, we can't get them with the anti-nuclear missiles. I'm not quite sure how it all works, but it's very, very important. I mean, why would he pick this little tiny television studio here in the heart of Bracknell? Why would he pick this? No, probably more likely London. More likely London, so hopefully it'll be one of my nights off. Otherwise, I'll be blown up to pieces here. Pieces. Can someone inform Mr. Putrid in Russia? Can someone please inform him of when I am working in Russia so that he doesn't explode, but he might want to come to one of my nights? I can see Mr. Putin coming along to sing karaoke at one of my nights. And do you know what? After a couple of... I think he'd be all right. I think he'd be all right. A couple of drinks down him. Yeah, probably, I don't know. I mean, Russians, do they generally drink vodka? Is that the choice of the Russian person to drink Russia? I reckon if he had a couple of those down him, you know, he popped along to Central Station, I think he'd come and sing a couple of songs. I do. I do think that would happen. But if he doesn't, there's a chance we might be nuked at the weekend. Or even before the weekend, yes. Someone let him know. And apparently, if an explosion is imminent, okay, in London, the thing is, how far does that travel? Yeah, because I'm about 30 miles outside London. Am I fairly safe here? Or I seem to remember some nuclear government film in the 1970s saying that we had to hide under beds and places like that. Is that right? Do you have to hide under a bed or put something, and you've got to stay under there for like 4 weeks or 6 weeks or something? I mean, where would you go to the toilet? Where do you go? I mean, do you just have to mess yourself? Awful, dear. Dreadful, dreadful. Mr. Putrid should come to my karaoke night. So if we haven't been nuked, and if the cold weather hasn't got us, there's another possibility this week. Look at this again in the Daily Express from Sean Martin writes this one. An enormous explosion, not a nuclear device, even more powerful than Mr. Putrid's nuclear devices, right? In the Daily Express today, an enormous explosion on the surface of the sun blasted an array. I like that word, array. Try and put that into a sentence later. An array of solar particles Earth's way, and the storm will hit tomorrow. That's why I've had to do a show today. There might not be no electric tomorrow, dear. The sun is coming for us. It's had enough. Mind you, wouldn't you have had enough of the human population by now? Bits of plastic everywhere. We can't breathe in London. You're driving a lot. I'll tell you what, I drove out from work. What night was it? Saturday night. I driving down the Euston Road. It stank. It stank of pollution going through London on Saturday night. It honestly, I'm not making that up. It might have been Friday. Either Friday or Saturday, one of the two. I had my window open while I was driving along that Euston Road, and it stank of pollution. Awful. Awful. Anyway, scientists have warned the storm could wipe out satellites GPS navigation systems, and mobile phone signals. Hello? Can anyone hear me? No, the sun has fired its rockets at us. The solar storm will hit the northern hemisphere, which could lead to the northern lights. The northern lights are in my mind. La da da da. Do you remember that song? Bet you haven't heard that for a while. Someone come and do that on Friday at the karaoke. Northern lights or aurora borealis. What's the difference between the northern lights or aurora borealis? Is that the same thing? Don't know. Being seen as far south as the upper reaches of Scotland. How is that the far south? Who's writing this crap? How is as far south as the upper reaches of... It's not south at all, Scotland, dear. They're up to north, up to north. We love Scotland. Or if you ever get a chance to go to the Highlands, go. Beautiful place. The US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the NOAA, who spotted the solar storm using 2 NASA satellites, which you are possibly watching this programme from at the moment, boys and girls, say a minor geomagnetic storm is now in effect for the 14th and 15th of March. That's tomorrow. We might have it. You might wake up tomorrow morning and there's just this bright light of the sun exploding in your face. Be very careful. Wear sunglasses. It's the same with the nuclear explosion. You're not supposed to look at it. Apparently, I believe a nuclear explosion, it goes off and there is this brilliant white light that is brighter than anything you've seen. And if you do see it, you won't see again. You will lose your sight. Never look at a nuclear explosion, dear. I'm going out to buy one of those masks tomorrow just to be on the safe side. You know, the paper masks. I think I might go around and wear one of those just in case a nuclear device is sent over to the United Kingdom. One of those little masks. That'd do it, wouldn't it? One of those little paper masks you can get from Boots the Chemist. Look at my preparation today. That's my preparation. That's it. That is my preparation. So everything is possible. We've got 3 things to get through this week. Nukes from Russia, the next cold spell, and a solar... It's going to be I think it's going to be the solar magnetic storm first tomorrow, unless Mr. Putin, because he's only got 15 minutes now, hasn't he, to reply to our great leader Theresa May. Do you think she's heard from him yet? A little phone call or something like that? It's all very worrying. Right, let's see some of your messages then. Yes, good morning, Joey. Good evening, Joey Millen. Evening, Joey. Alan Carathas is there. Greetings, Alan. Med. Good evening, Med. You're new to the show tonight. Welcome along. David Dudley. Evening, David. Looking very hot in your picture today. Hello to the delightful Sarah Lou Lace, who sent me a lovely little private message the other day. Thank you, Sarah. Started my diet today. Buggered it now just by eating a massive mint aero. Now, Sarah, here's the thing. Here's the damage limitation, Sarah. Damage limitation, Sarah. Next time you want to do that, have a small one. Damage limitation, darling. Damage limitation, Sarah. Good evening to the lovely Bernadette Lake, whose son, it is his birthday today. His birthday today. Peter Lake, happy birthday, Peter. I shall be singing to you, if you're watching the show. I don't know if you're watching, Peter, but I shall be singing to you and all the other birthdays at the end of today's show. We're going to just do Tuesday's birthdays today, although we're probably running into Wednesday. We're going to do Tuesday's birthday at the end of the show today, because, of course, there will be a show tomorrow morning, as usual. Good evening to Norma. Matt Martens is there from Winnipeg in Canada. Oh, you've had an accident, haven't you, Mart? Oh, dear. He's had a little bit of a serious accident, although I gather it wasn't his fault, and he's still walking. So that's a good thing, isn't it, Matt? We'll open a phone line as well. Shall we open the phone line, just in case anyone wants to call in? Just a second. All I have to do is click a couple of buttons and we can open a phone line. I don't know if you want to call in, Matt, and tell us about your accident. It's up to you, mate. Phone line is open. You can Skype in. The Skype is United Kingdom Talk. All one word, United Kingdom Talk, or phone in 020 8144 3477. Please have something to talk about, though. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes people call in and say, hello, hello. Oh, what are you calling in about? Oh, just wanted to say hello. That's a bit pointless. Not through saying hello to me, but for the other people listening and watching the show. It needs to be something interesting. So, Matt, and you've had a serious accident, that will be interesting. We want to know that you're okay. Matt in Canada. Canada. Hope your family's all right there. You've got your little boy and your beautiful wife as well. Evening, Matt. Well, it's in the 30s Fahrenheit in Chicago, Tom says. So what's that? About 35 Fahrenheit. I'm now going to convert that for you, for those of you in Europe, into centigrade. So 30s, so we'll say 30 Fahrenheit. Shall we say about 30 Fahrenheit? So that is in centigrade. I'm not very good at maths, so just give me a moment. Oh, hang on a minute. No, we'll hold that. Matt's calling in. Good evening, Matt.
Well, good evening, Chris. How you doing,
Good
mate?
evening, Matt. Calling in from Winnipeg. I like that. Winnipeg.
Isn't that a sharp name, Winnipeg?
I love the name. I love the name. Now, tell us about your accident. First of all, are you completely okay, or is there any damage before I start joking?
Well, yes. I mean, I was damaged going into it, as you know, but it was only, a slight damage at that time. It's been a little bit more major.
Tell us what's happened, my friend.
Yeah, so basically, the morning started off as usual. I dropped off my little boy. As you know, I have a little 1-year-old named Jacob, and dropped him off at Heather's parents' place on our way to work to commute on the Monday morning drive. And then I proceeded, dropped Heather off at her work. And on my way to drive myself to my office, was going through a green light down a very busy downtown area in Winnipeg here. And I was going through a green light, and a gentleman was going through a red light at a pretty high rate of speed, and he T-boned me directly on the driver's side door. So as a result, I sustained some pretty severe injuries to my left arm, and got some pretty bad whiplash as well. And I suffered a bit of damage to the very top of the cranium area of the head there. And but thankfully, it's all internal injuries, lots of heavy bruising there, but no broken bones miraculously. So I walked away from the accident.
Wow. You're very, very lucky. This whole red... We have a real problem with this in London, red light jumping. Right. It goes on an awful lot. I've seen juggernauts, literally. And it's not just as they go red. You know, the light goes red. Now, in that time, your light then has to... I think it's the same in your... I mean, some countries are a little bit different with the traffic lights. But if a light has gone red here, there's then maybe 3 seconds pass... And then the other lights then go red, yellow, and then green. Yeah. So there's a good 5 to 8 seconds in between when their light goes red and yours goes green. And we've still got, ours has gone green, and I've seen cars coming across. So it's like 5, 6, 7 seconds later. You are so lucky, Matt. Someone's watching over you, my friend.
Yeah, big time. And when we asked this guy about it, he said, well, mate, here's what happened. He said, we recently had a time change here in Canada where we had to spring forward, as they say, move the clocks ahead 1 hour. And he said he was sleepy, and he said that it was just a bad day for him, and he just didn't even look that there was a red light, and he proceeded right through as if there was no light there.
Well, he needs to be prosecuted. Is he being prosecuted for that? I hope so.
Well, I believe he is, because to add to the story, it turns out he didn't even have a valid driver's license.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so he was only maybe about 18 years old, if I'm being honest. So,
oh my word, yeah.
We all do. But you know what, mate? I was really thankful that Heather and Jake were not in the vehicle at that time, because it's bad enough myself getting injured, but I couldn't even imagine dealing with 2 other injuries in the vehicle. Wow,
Matt, I don't know what to say, mate. I really don't.
Yeah.
Have you got to go back to the hospital at all, or?
Well, I spent some time there. I got rushed to the hospital with ambulance there yesterday, right from the scene, and they checked me out again, did all the X-rays, checked me out, did a bunch of scans, and they said that I had to take some muscle relaxers, which I've been doing here now, and lots of pain medication, and they anticipate I'll be back to work likely on the Friday this week.
Gosh.
Yeah, quite something though. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, but we're also planning a move just outside of Winnipeg to a rural area where prices are a little bit lower in regards to the housing.
Right.
And that's coming up at the end of next month. So lots going on, and not a good time to be without a vehicle. So.
No, that's what I mean. Your move is quite soon, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
It's all arranged, is it?
It is, yeah. But now with these financial difficulties of not having a vehicle, we don't know how we're going to make ends meet at this point. So it's going to be really tough financially.
Oh, I'm sorry that you're having so much trouble there, mate. Are you?
Yeah.
Do you rent? What's the sort of housing thing? Did you rent? Do most people rent in Canada, or do they buy?
Most do buy. Myself, I ended up when I was younger. I ended up going through a bankruptcy situation, so the credit issue becomes a problem at that point.
Yes. Okay.
So basically, as I'm rebuilding that, we've had to rent, but it is quite dear in Winnipeg at the moment. Canadian dollars, we're paying approximately $1,200 a month, and it's actually forecasted to go up about $150. So I'm not sure how many pounds that would be, but in Canada it is quite dear at the moment. So we're going to get into a bigger space and pay the same amount of money. So
what's the percentage of your? I mean, if you were like on $10,000, a month, then 1,200 isn't a lot. What's the percentage of your wage? Is it 50%, 70%, 30% that you spend on rent?
Right. So for me, I make about 52,000 a year, and I would make every month. It's like I say, would be about $1,200 a month.
Right.
So that would be about 15,000 or so a year. So
okay,
so 15,000 from 52,000.
About a third.
Yeah, that's right.
A little bit more than a third. Oh, that's not too bad, is it?
No, it's really not terrible. Like I say, in Canada, though, that is dear because there's a lot of places where it is cheaper, but there's areas that you get into that really aren't desirable, and I would not want Jake in those kind of environments.
No, of course not. And tell me, with your accident and all that, and the hospital, is that all covered by some sort of insurance, or do you have to pay, or what?
Well, it's a bit complicated with Canada here. In our province specifically, we have a insurance company that is all throughout the province, and if you are deemed not at fault, then at that point the government will waive any kind of deductible, and if they write off your vehicle, they'll just give you what it's worth at that point, and if it's repairable, they will repair it for you at no charge. But in regards to like the ambulance ride, unfortunately that's still on me as the driver, and then thankfully I have group benefits with my employer who will then cover that for me. But as far as being at the hospital and all those added expenses, that's all covered. Kind of like what the NHS has. Canada's got the very same system as the NHS.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. No, I just wondered how close you were to sort of the whole America. I mean, you just don't want to be ill in America. A lot of people, we have a lot of people on the telly here, and when they're cussing the NHS and all that business. Well, in America, the thing is in America, and they say in America, well, yeah, we have to pay for it. People who don't know about it, they say they have to pay for it something like $1,200 a month, but that's it. That's all they pay. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because when I see, because I've got a lot of American friends, a lot of Barry Manilow fans, with them, and when they have something go wrong, maybe they have to call an ambulance. They may have an ambulance, this, that, and the other, and then they claim on the insurance, and then they suddenly realise that the first $3,000 isn't covered.
That's right.
And then they have to pay extra for that, and they only allowed so much of that. I mean, it's
right, and it all adds up, doesn't it?
Isn't it ridiculous, Matt?
It is.
That healthcare has to make a profit. I just think that is the most ridiculous thing ever, that healthcare is allowed to make a profit.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense. Crazy. Certain things in this world, healthcare, I believe water as well, shouldn't be there to make a profit. I mean, look at me, I'm sounding all Labour now, aren't I? But I really do believe that, certain things shouldn't be for profit making. They really didn't. And people would say, you need to make a profit. These companies need to make a profit to develop new drugs. Well, I get that. But how did they develop new drugs before private companies came in and started taking that over?
Exactly.
We paid, the government paid scientists and people like that to do it all. In fact, they still do.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I was about to go on a drugs trial. I have a little condition that I've got, and I have pills every day, just a few pills every day. Anyway, they wanted to try me on a different pill. I decided not to go along with this particular one for the reasons of it was very new and there was only one other person who was on this. So I thought, that's really early. And I thought, no, I won't take the chance with this one. But nevertheless, and I said, which company is this for? And they said, no, it's for I think King's College Hospital or University College Hospital. Some of the scientists there have changed a drug that I was on for a while, and it didn't do me too well. It was damaging part of me, so they took me off that and put me on something else. Anyway, they'd reformulated this particular drug so that the chemical that does the damage is a lot less in there. So they wanted to try that. Now, this was being done by a hospital. And, you know, so I think hospitals and scientists are still involved, but then somewhere along the line, the private companies come in and take it over and then make money. I do understand when, like, an important drug comes to market, then millions and millions of pounds of research and this, that and the other have been used to bring this onto the market, and therefore they're trying to get that money back. I get that. I do get that. For sure. But when there are certain drugs and they've already made the money back and then they're making a fortune. Oh, wasn't there some American bloke who... Oh, it's just coming to me in my mind. I saw this on a newspaper possibly a year or two ago now. There was some bloke who had bought some of the HIV medicines, I think. Yeah. What would you call it? The patent or something like that. So then you had to buy them from him, and he increased the price by like 500% or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes. And it could have been anything. It could have been like, you know, a cancer drug, a heart drug. It could have been anything. It just happened to be this particular one. Yeah. And yeah. So I don't understand. Crazy.
And like you say, they shouldn't be out there to make those kinds of profits off it. They really shouldn't.
No.
And I mean, you know, right now they still need to get to the point where they can actually get viable, you know, quote unquote cures for these things, especially things like HIV and cancer. We need the cure now. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, we can do a lot now. The whole cancer thing, you know, you can, with certain bits and pieces. I mean, what we can do now years ago. It's just amazing, really.
Yeah, unheard of.
You remember, you can go right back. You remember sometimes if people kept getting headaches, like in the dark ages, they drill a hole in your head to relieve the pressure.
We are long gone from that. Oh yeah.
Oh, Matt. Well, I'm glad you're laughing, and I'm glad you're not too badly damaged. I'm really sorry you've had that nasty experience. But I tell you what, will it make you like double check as you're going across a green light now? Because I find myself doing it. It's happened nearly to me. That really? Story. Oh yes, that story I just said to you about what I didn't tell you is that I was sat. I never forget it. This is about between 8 and 10 years ago, somewhere like that. So I'm sitting at this red light, and I've got a bag of crisps in between my legs. You know, as you sit there, you've got the
cheese
bag.
And onion, of course, right? Cheese and onion.
Correct. Yeah. Walker's cheese and onion crisps are there. The light has gone green. Okay. And for some reason, for a split second, I thought, shall I go now, or shall I have a bag of a handful of crisps? Right. You know, to tell you about it now, I've kind of slowed all this down in my own head. Because at the time, you know, you just grab the handful of crisps, put them in your mouth, and off you go. But to slow it down so that you get what's happening here, right? So so the light's green. I thought, shall I have a handful of crisps before I take off? So I looked in my mirror, and there was nothing behind me. I thought, I'll have the handful of crisps. I've put my hand in a crisp, put them in my mouth, and a juggernaut has come straight across the front of me.
No.
From left to right. A big lorry. A great big lorry. And those lights must have been green for a good 5 seconds.
Wow.
And it's only because I decided to have a handful of crisps before taking off. If I'd have gone off as soon as those lights had gone green, I'd probably be dead now.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, the crisps saved your life, honestly.
Yes, I should be thankful to Walker's Cheese Onion Crisps.
Yeah, you owe them. You owe them several pounds.
I should send cash in the post to Walker's.
Absolutely.
I remember sending you a box of crisps years ago, didn't I?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed them. They were lovely, mate. Yeah, lovely.
Walkers. I haven't had a bag of Walkers. When's the last time I had Christmas at my sister's? Yeah, because of course I gave up a lot of foods that are bad for you to lose the weight that I've lost, and you can't really go back. I mean, special occasions. I've got my nephew's 21st birthday party coming up soon.
Right.
Towards the end of the month, so I might have he's got a cold buffet. So if we've got the bowls of crisps, or potato chips as you call them in the States. I know you're not in the States, but they do. We have States people watching as well. Then I might have a bowl full of crisps just on that one occasion. Just on that one occasion.
Provided they have cheese and onion for you.
Of course. You know what the worst thing is they do at some people's weddings and all that, right? So they got the crisp bowl and they mix up the flavours.
Oh,
and you
that's illegal.
And you might have the unfortunate experience of picking up those disgusting prawn cocktail ones. Oh, they're vile. Have you smelt them? Oh, I don't dare tell you what they smell like, what they remind me of. They're awful. Prawn. How dreadful, Matt. I won't be sending you any of those anyway.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Good luck, and I hope you recover soon, Matt, all right?
All right. Thanks, Chris. You take care, mate.
Love to Jacob and your missus and Heather.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bye-bye, Matt.
All right, mate. Bye-bye.
There we are, our friend Matt in Canada. It sounds like he had a very lucky escape, doesn't it? A very, very lucky escape. Let's just do some more of your messages there. Don't call in for the moment in case you want to call in. I just want to wing some of these. Hello to Mike Heineman. Good evening, Mike. Welcome to the show. Ray Reynolds is there. Ray Reynolds and Johnny T just back from the Lincoln Lounge in King's Cross, which is just round the corner, actually, from Central Station. They've been doing ukulele playing tonight. Da, 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 da. Yes, we was at Central Station last night, Ray. We had a good time last night at the karaoke. Oh, it was good. Really good. There was a large group of university students in there last night as well, who were Barrett's friend. Barrett works behind the bar. He's lovely, he is. And they were really nice. But it was a busy night last night. Not only that, there was a guy called Paul, whose birthday it was last night. Older chap. I think he's a little bit older than me, probably. And he said he wanted to bring a cake in, so that was okay. My God, there was an entire table full of cakes. I kid you not. There was a great big chocolate. It wasn't a cake. It was a gatto. I gather it was a gatto and not a cake. Anyway, I had 2 pieces of that. Oh, my word. It was absolutely delicious, this chocolate gatto. And, of course, we've got all the usual suspects in there, who know I do Slimming World. And they're, shouldn't be doing that, Chris. Oh, shouldn't be eating the cake. All these people are like 4 times the size of me. And they got the audacity. Oh, shouldn't be eating that cake. Yes, I did. 2 very large chocolate bits. I couldn't find a fork, so I actually used the cake slice to feed it into my mouth. Oh, it was so nice. Then they had this strawberry gatto thing, and there were large jam donuts. There was chocolate eclairs. There was biscuits. All on the whole table was covered in cakes, which Paul brought in for his birthday. So that was really nice. Usually on a birthday, I'm the one who goes out and gets a cake for someone or not. But Paul had already said that he was going to bring his own one in. So he did do so. Although there was no candle. I would have put candles in it for him. Never mind. So we brought him up to the stage and wished him happy birthday. So that was all well and nice. And I was a little bit naughty yesterday. I was a bit naughty last night. I was a bit naughty. Now, those of you that watch the karaoke stream online, that we usually we always try and stream the karaoke live for you from Central Station. There's always a bit at the beginning which you don't see, so I'm before we start I'm saying hello to everyone, explaining that there's a camera there, and I might do a little bit of a chat. And you wouldn't have heard me say last night, and I was talking about the Russian the supposedly Russian poisoning of one of their a spy. I don't know the exact story, but the spy and all that. And I said that the police, had told everyone in Salisbury had visited this particular restaurant, to go home and shower. At which point someone came in who I know. Now, I'm not going to mention the name. And he came in I said, hello, you're not from Salisbury for any chance, are you? And I'm like, and he's like, no, why? I said, well, didn't you get the police message, to shower? I'm terrible, terrible. So we had a really good night for the karaoke last night, and lots of wonderful. It was really good last night for a Monday night for us to be that busy. And then at another point of the night, I think it was around about 9:30, 9:30, 10 o'clock. I went over and spoke to a friend of mine, James, in there, and we were talking about jobs. Now, there's a particular job that might come up, karaoke job that might come up, and I've put my name forward for it. Now, the thing is, there is already someone, I'm not going to say where it is, there's already someone there doing the karaoke, but it's not quite working. I think they've got the wrong night doing it. So I've already contacted this place and said, yes, well, I was there for a while and I'd very much like that job back, please, and this, that, and the other. Okay, when are you free? So I gave him the nights that I was free because I get so bored at night doing nothing. I'm a night person. I've been a night person since I was like 18 years old, and sitting at home doing nothing at night does my head in. It's, as I say, it's never about the money. It's never about the money, although you don't want someone to take the mick out of you, you know? So I've been looking around for another karaoke night or two, or a quiz night. I have Sunday, Tuesday and Thursday free at the moment. They're the 3 days, any of, or as well as, you know, any of those nights that I'm looking for. So I've put my name forward. I know that another couple of people have also put their names forward. So it's a bit hit and miss, really. You know, it just depends whether the bloke in this place chooses you or not. And there's nothing else you can do. Some people say, oh, why don't you go down there and talk to him? Well, I've already, exchanged messages a couple of times. You don't want to push it, because people just get pissed off if you start pushing. I know I get really fed up with people pushing sometimes. People come up to me and they all want something all the time. And sometimes you're doing a job and it's difficult. You're dealing with so much, and then someone wants something else and someone wants something else, and it's difficult to deal with. So you don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be pushy. I've given them my name. A couple of messages have gone backwards and forwards, and that's it. And then we just sit, and perhaps it might come, perhaps it might. That's just how it is, okay? So I'm talking to my friend James T about this, who you would have seen on Monday. He's a lovely, lovely man. He's always on holiday somewhere, always, because he's retired. And about places that we miss, places that I used to work at that I'd love to go back to, and I've worked at loads of places. I mean, I don't know. It must be 60 or 70 venues, possibly more over the years. But there's only about 4 that I'd go back to. And those 4 are, in not necessarily this order, the Black Cap, the City of Quebec. Now, what was the third one? Oh, gosh, there was a third one. Oh, no, the third one and the fourth one are the same. Either of 2 of the Belushi's brands that I worked at. Now, I worked at Belushi's in Hammersmith and Belushi's in London Bridge, with London Bridge being my favourite. So I worked at the London Bridge one. And I was saying to James, we had such a wonderful team there. It was damn hard work. Damn hard work. So Belushi's in London Bridge. Someone else does that job now. Someone actually who I actually put forward. I did have that opportunity of going back there actually about a year and a half ago, but I already had a job somewhere else, and I'm quite loyal. If someone gives me a job, I stay with you. You can offer me 50 quid more than them. I won't take it. I'll stay with you because you gave me the job first. I'm very, very loyal, and I've got to be really pissed off to leave somewhere. Really, really fed up. Honestly, I have. So I'm talking to him about this. I said, yeah, Belushi's, and we had great staff there. It was hard work because you were dealing with lots of young people who were drunk and they all wanted their little bit of fame, and you have to sort everyone out, but be friendly as well. And I loved that job. The whole thing was electric in there, full of, as well as young people, some older people like myself. It was a good mix in there. Rich people and poor people all poured into this place on a Monday and Wednesday when I was doing the karaoke, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I was telling them about the staff. Yeah, all the staff got on and we all worked well together. I think there were 2 people who just did not fit in there. One was a bloke called Ian, who became the manager and was there for about 2 weeks. He was horrible. He was an horrible man. Ian, it was his name. Great big fat thing he was. Turns out that he was gay. I never even knew. Well, unfortunately, he made the mistake of coming in there once pissed out of his head, didn't he? Oh, yes, and the people above got to know about it, so they got rid of him pretty quickly. And there was someone else in there who I can't remember now, who just didn't fit in. That's in the 5 years that I was there. But all the other time, and we all pulled together. There wasn't like they do that and you do that. No, we were all together, and it was just such a wonderful atmosphere working there. So I was telling them about this. Anyway, so I then turn around and I'm walking up to the stage. I kid you not, 4 of the staff that I used to work with at Belushi's in London Bridge suddenly walked in. There was Carla, Ludo, and Michelle, and they all just suddenly walked in. And I'm like, what? How did that happen? And I said to James, I said, you're not going to believe this. 4 of the staff have just walked in here from my old job, and I only see them a couple of times a year, but they do that. They just walk into somewhere where I'm working. They go and buy a drink and join in. How weird is that? So a really good night last night. I had such a fantastic name in there last night. Good evening to Samantha Howard. Just back from a great rehearsal. Charity concert on the Isle of Wight. Good luck with that, Sam. Hope you're well. Are you making use of those speakers? Did you get the speakers I sent over? I think it's you who got the speakers that I gave Adam. Did you? Hello to Ashley. Evening, Chris. Duke's there. Max. Another Max now. So many Maxes there this morning. Good morning to Mary. Non-Irish Mary from Ireland. Morning, Mary. Some people wishing Matt to get better there. There we go. Look, Mike says, happens all the time around here. People jump red lights. Usually turns out it's the ones who have just not long passed their tests. I don't know who it is who jumps the red lights. I'll be honest, Mike, I would have thought the people that have just passed their tests are the more cautious ones. I don't know. I don't know who it is that does it. Mike also says they already have other issues on top of that and haven't been prosecuted yet, like they're on probation or already have points in their licence. It's so worrying, that is. That whole jump the red lights thing, it is. On the subject of testing out drugs, which I have done this a couple of times. I've done a couple of trials there. My opinion is, well, they keep me alive, so, give something back. And Mike says, I'm always sceptical when it comes to drugs and pills that are in early days of being tested out, because you don't know what the risks or side effects are going to be. Well, they actually told me there was one bloke who'd been on these particular pills for 6 months and was perfectly all right. There were another 4 who had just gone on them. So it was very, very early days. And, if the stuff you're on is fairly stable, which I am, very, very stable. I'm very, very stable on this stuff. You're kind of, are you asking for trouble by changing things and all that, Oh, let's just go on to the other platforms. I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you. Over on YouTube, good evening to Brendan Brady. We're live tonight, Brendan. Simon says, when are you going to do another game night with Ronnie? When he wants to do one. It's quite hard to tie him down. That's why if I could have like a regular night with him, I would do that. But you can't do that with him. He does it like when he wants, and I just accept that. So yeah, it's whenever he wants that, really, Simon. Thanks for asking. Paul says this is yeah. I'm a night owl tonight, Paul. Night owl tonight, mate. Simon says he loves prawn cocktail crisps and salt, not prawn cocktail. Salt and vinegar are all right. Oh, well, there's a particular brand of salt and vinegar, and it bites your lip. Or bites your discos. Salt and vinegar discos. Oh my God, they're strong. They bite your tongue as they go down. Oh, very nice. Good evening to Tom. Evening, big boy. How do you know? Have you been with me? I would never forget you on YouTube. Don't worry about that. Social media wants to know, is this the Great British Break Off? No, there's no cake here, I'm afraid, but I wish there was. I wish there was. If you're wondering what that did to my Slimming World weight, I might leave that till tomorrow morning's show, okay? I'm usually here in the morning, around about 9:30 in the morning. Duke says, last night, Walkers saved my life. Did they really? That could be the name of a new game show, couldn't it? Or a new drama on BBC One Colour. Last night, Walkers saved my life. We could do a commercial for Walkers, absolutely. Good evening to Ashley, who loves prawn cocktail crisps. They stink. They are the most awful smelling crisps ever. Matt's thanking you all for that. Good evening, Adrian Richardson. Let's have a look. Ashley, you're trying to have a private conversation with me again, aren't you? It's all very public there. Remember that. Everyone can see that, so we don't talk about other people, darling. Okay. Good evening to the lovely Glenda. Evening, Glenda. You lovely lady. I could listen to your talk all day. Believe me, I do, Glenda. You don't think I'd shut up when this show's finished, do you? Oh, I carry on talking to myself for hours on end. Sometimes, Glenda, I can't actually get to sleep because I'm talking so much. That's true. Tom says, last night, pickled onion monster munch saved my life. Oh, they bite as well, don't they, Tom? He's on Periscope. The pickled onion monster munch, they bite your tongue as they go down. But the best ones for that, are, as I've found, the really strong discos, salt and vinegar discos. Oh, like that. I haven't had any of those for over a year now. See, the trouble is I used to stop on the way home from work. And I'd go in all good intention. I'd just have one small bag of crisps tonight. And it never used to work out like that. I'd go in there. I'll have another bag. I'll get another bag for tomorrow. Because they're always 2 for 1, aren't they, in the petrol garage? In the BP garages. You never buy petrol in a BP garage. It's the most expensive out there. But you stop there for crisps. Oh, I'll have a sandwich while I'm here as well. Oh, maybe a bar of chocolate. And so you'd gone in for a bag of crisps. You've come out with 2 for 1 on the bags of crisps, a bar of chocolate and a sandwich. And a cup of tea, but that's okay. The cup of tea's all right. All the other stuff you've just had. Dear me. That's one reason I'm sitting here today is because I've had so much tea tonight. 4 cups of Selfridge's tea. £8 for 100 grams, that is. It's cheaper than Harrods. I kid you not. I bought tea in Selfridges this week. £8 for 100 grams. In Harrods, it's £4 for 100 grams. How is that? I mean, I think Harrods is the one with the money, isn't it? I don't know. Mike says, I went to see a show on Thursday called Fat Friends. It's a story all about Slimming World and what goes on there, put into a musical. It was literally the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh, it's hilarious. Slimming World, I love it. I love the friendship in there. And we do have jokes with each other. There was one lady, I was joking with her at the beginning of the night, with the beginning of Slimming World today. And there's a bit where Linda, who is queen of all of Slimming World, and we love Linda. She puts on a damn good show every Tuesday. She works bloody hard, Linda. She runs the Slimming World in Wokingham. And she's going, and then she said to my friend, I can't remember what her name is actually, my friend at the back there. She said, okay, and so far, hello, nice to see you again. So your total loss at the moment is 5 stone, 3 pounds. And everyone clapped. And then Linda goes, but you had a little bit of a blip this week, at which point I turned around and looked at her and she said, oh, don't, Chris, you'll make me laugh. So we do like to have a little laugh there. The important thing about Slimming World is that no one looks down at you. No one takes the piss or looks down at you. And that's what it's all about. That's what it is. You want to go somewhere where it's nice and friendly and you can have those little blips and going up and down, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're all very friendly towards each other in there. It's not like you go in a pub. You know, how many times have you gone in a pub maybe and someone says to you, oh, you've put on a bit of weight? Well, that wouldn't happen there. It would not happen there. And you don't realise how hurtful that is, especially if someone's got something a little bit about their weight. It's an awful, please don't do it to anyone. As they're coming in, oh, you're putting a bit of weight. You don't realise the damage that can do. It really is very, very nasty. Even sort of in a joking way sometimes. If it's a celebrity in the paper, then yeah, everyone's fair game. You know, if you want to say it to me while I'm doing this, oh, Chris, you look like you put on a bit of weight today. That's fine because I'm kind of, but just you know, someone in a pub or something like that, it can be really quite damaging doing something like that. Hello to, hang on, sorry, you're all having a conversation. Kareem, my friend Kareem. How are you? Kareem was one of our Hammersmith Belushi's boys. Lovely to see you, my friend. Really is. He does, I think you're doing promotions or something for another pub. Well, Kareem, the whole Hammersmith thing, I don't DJ anymore, Kareem. I gave most of that up. The only DJ, I do a little bit of DJing on a Saturday night, but certainly not the sort of DJing that you would expect a club DJ or someone. I don't really do that anymore, but I still do the karaoke. I love doing karaoke. I got bored with the DJing, Kareem. I got really bored with the DJing. In fact, I think it would be fair to say the last time I enjoyed DJing was at Hammersmith Belushi's. It's very, because I could play all the chart stuff, all the dart stuff. In where I was in the two Brewers, you were very limited what you could play in Clapham, you know, very limited. And I stopped enjoying DJing really when the Hammersmith job finished, when a new manager came in and wanted his own bloke in there, which happens, you know. It's one of those things. You don't feel bad about that. You know, it's just that's how it is. That's how this game is, you know. Even Bruce Forsyth was sacked, you know, from Play Your Cards Right, because a new bloke came in and took over London Weekend Television and thought they wanted someone new in. So goodbye, Brucey. That's just how the game is, you know, whether it's DJing, acting, television, whatever. Anything to do with entertaining, you can be out of a job suddenly like that. Radio's the best one. Now, I did do the only proper radio I've really... Oh, no, I've done 2 stations, haven't I? I've done 2 stations. I did Freedom. That was just a temporary station about 20 years ago. But I did do Liberty Radio in London. That was a medium wave station all over London. And it was okay. I'd been brought in to me and my friend David Rosen, who was also a DJ in clubs. We'd be brought in because this particular machine that played the music overnight kept breaking down. So they brought in 2 DJs, i.e. me and someone else. My friend got us in there, Danny Cowan, who was already on there. He does some of the announcements for channel, I think, E4. If you watch E4, I think it's E4 or... One of the 4 channels, you know, Channel 4 channels. There's several Channel 4 channels. Danny is the one with the thick Irish accent. Very thick Irish accent. You can't miss him. Anyway, he got us in there. So we did this DJing on there. And eventually the job was going to come to an end. They told us we had 6 weeks till they got this new machine in. Well, it took a year and a half. And then as the year and a half comes, I said, look, Chris, thanks very much, but we're going to stop the overnight programmes. And they actually told us a couple of weeks in advance, so I could say goodbye and all that business. But normally you're called into the office after your show and told, thank you, that's it. That's just how it works in radio, you know. And it's the same with all those sort of things, I'm afraid. So, nice to see you, Kareem. I would go back and do the karaoke. Ask them if they want a karaoke in Belushi's Hammersmith. Well, I'm happily to go back there. Greetings to Tim, William Broughton. Greetings in Sydney. Well, I'm a breakfast show there today. In Sydney, a breakfast show. Yes, indeed. Good. Sam's got the speakers. They're good, aren't they? Sam, I've got to tell you, those speakers are about 35 years old. They've never let me down. I've never blown them. I've never replaced anything in them. They just work. Don't they? I'm getting very hot in here, actually. Shall I open the window or turn that on? Hang on a minute. Let's turn that. Is that plugged in? Oh, it works. Look at that. Do-do-do-do. I haven't had that on for ages. Got my air conditioning in here in the middle of winter. Dear me. Am I working tomorrow? Yes, Duke. I'm doing a quiz night tomorrow, King's Head Theatre Bar quiz on a Wednesday night. Are you coming down to answer a few questions, sir? Huh? I'm free Thursday. I think I'm free Thursday this week. Is that any good to you? Thursday? Either a day or night. Thursday? A little meal or something. Hello to Joseph. Greetings, Joseph. Adrian says, Marks and Spencer's low-fat crisp salt and vinegar is like punishment. Are they strong as well? Marks and Spencer's, yes. Marks and Spencer's crisps, thank you. Let's have a look. Hello to Alan Russell. He was at the karaoke. I thought you were going to sing last night, Alan. And Russ Philip Vernon, greetings to you as well. Welcome along to our little late night show. I can't believe we've already done an hour nearly already, haven't we? I've hardly said a word. I'll leave my my Slimming World news and some other visits, some other stuff tomorrow about what I've been doing and that, all right? We've got a phone line open, 0208 144 3477 if you want to call in, boys and girls. I saw on the BBC News the other day, they've got this new flying car. Now, I've seen a few different ones of these flying cars. And I've got to say, when I first saw these drones, you know, and they're like four little... fan things, aren't they? Little blades turning round like that, and they lift the camera off the ground like that, and they fly. And I thought, that's how flying cars are going to be. That's how that's how I see them working, like 4 fans or something. And I have seen varying different designs of flying cars with the sort of fans on each corner. There was one, I think it had about 8 fans, 2, 4, 6, 8 like that, and they're all spinning around and all quite automatic. I think, the actual craft sort of flattens itself out and flies you well. I always thought it would be like that. But in New Zealand, apparently, self-flying air taxis lift off in New Zealand. Now, this was on the BBC News website earlier today. And it says, a firm funded by Google founder Larry Page has unveiled an electric self-flying air taxi that can travel at 110 miles an hour. This is on the BBC website. It can do 100 kilometres on a single charge. It's electric. This thing is electric. Wow. It will eventually be available to customers as a service similar to an airline or a rideshare, says parent company Kitty Hawk on the Corsa website. Now, this is in New Zealand. It operates using self-flying software combined with human oversight, which I find absolutely fascinating. The only thing is it looks more like a plane. And it is quite big. Anyway, I'll come back to that in a moment. Hello, who's calling in now?
It's Paul.
Hello, Paul. How are you? Which Paul?
Paul, I'm from Edinburgh.
Paul from Edinburgh. How are you, sir? Did you call in the other night? I think you did.
I did.
Oh, yes, with your rude stuff. Is it going to be rude again? I do hope so.
No.
Oh, how disappointing, Paul.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Biggish.
Biggish who?
No thanks, I've already bought my copy.
Oh, Paul, you are the king of short phone calls. You're about to go now, aren't you?
I am. Bye for now.
You only ever ring in for 10 seconds at a time, mate.
That's it.
Thank you, Paul. You have a good evening, mate. Quick phone call there. Hang on, Paul. Let me just write that in there. So, there we are. Let's put that in there. I think I've spelled Edinburgh wrong there. Never mind. 0208 144 3477 if you want to call in now. Back to this story then. The actual thing, it looks more like a plane to me than a flying taxi. It's certainly wide. And I'm thinking, well, self-flying car, you'd want it to sort of land sort of without taking up too much space, wouldn't you? Now, it does indeed. It says vertical takeoff and then changing to winged flight is quite a feat of engineering. So it does indeed go up like that. So it goes up like that, I suppose. And then somehow, it doesn't really say how that happens, but somehow I suppose then these wings spread out and it flies you to wherever you're going. But it would be fantastic. If I had one of these, it wouldn't take me 2 hours to get to work every blooming night. Hello, who's calling in now? Mobile phone.
Hello, darling. It's Sam here from the Isle of Wight.
Oh, hello. On the Isle of Wight. And it's so clear. I can't believe it. Those wires, you would have thought those wires, going under the Solent, yes, between the mainland and the Isle of Wight. You would have thought they'd been down there a bit of a while now and have gone a bit rusty and a bit noisy, but no, it's like you're sitting next door to me. How does that work, Sam?
I have no idea, sweetheart. I think it's actually probably to do more with the satellites in space than anything to do with cables running under the Solent.
Is that, you reckon that's what it was? You reckon we're being bounced to space and back again?
Yes,
just for the
how
short...
exciting, being bounced to space. It's like the Big Bang Theory all over again, isn't it?
Just for the short journey to the Isle of Wight. I reckon it's a bit of wire under there, darling. Someone dropped a bit of wire under there. I mean, one might be caught up with a fish or something like that.
When are you coming to visit me, sir?
Oh, I don't know. You know me. I keep promising to visit people. I'm supposed to go to the States, supposed to go to Israel, supposed to go to the Isle of Wight, and it never seems to happen. Other things happen. I have got a little holiday booked, Sam. I have a little holiday booked. Oh, yes.
Where are you headed?
I can't tell you yet because I'm taking my nephew for his 21st birthday to this particular place, and he might be secretly watching on the side. It's not his birthday.
Have a lovely time, darling.
It's not his birthday.
Whenever it is and wherever you're going.
I'll be able to tell you in April. After
All
his
right.
birthday's passed, because he has to know first. His mum knows, and his sister knows. I think they're the only, and my best mate know, but that's about all. Yeah, but we're going.
Well, we'll wait with bated breath to find out where you're
bated
going.
breath,
and-
dear. But I might be able to take you in the suitcase, Sam, if you're lucky.
Hey ho, yeah. If you've got an extra large suitcase, that'll be fine.
So have you actually tried those speakers out, darling?
Yes, we did on New Year's Eve.
Oh,
'cause,
right,
Adam
okay.
came down and ran my karaoke for my
Yeah.
50th. So yeah, we put them up for a trial then. They were great, and I
Good.
think also the cordless mics that you passed on to him. I think they were from you as well.
Yes, they were.
And yeah, and they were really good as well. So
Okay.
that was all fabulous. Thank you so much for that.
Well, the thing is with the cordless mics, they are on an old frequency, which is gradually being taken over by the mobile phone networks, and I couldn't use them in London anymore. It was just impossible. They were clicking. However, if you don't have that technology yet on the island, you can probably still use them for a while.
We probably don't, love. We're still, we're still steam driven here. It's gaslight passports and we can't get Radio 1. So,
But if you start hearing them click badly, and if one does it, they all will, then I'm afraid you'll have to bin them at that point. But I hate chucking stuff away when it's still working. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'd much
No,
rather
it's doing
give
us a great turn. Thank you,
Yeah,
sweetie.
good. I'm glad you're using those. How's your singing career going? All right?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Yes, I've just got my Tuesday night group up together, vocal cords,
Right.
and that's what we're doing this charity show in June for.
Tell us
so
about
beginning
that.
of June. So that's in support of the library, which is now being sold off by the council and is being run voluntarily here in Bembridge on the Isle of Wight. And also for a new roof for the village hall as well. So we're putting on a little show just to raise a few quid for that, for those two things going on. So
What can people expect to see at your show, and where is it and when?
it's at Bembridge Village Hall on the 9th of June.
What, without the new roof on? They'll all get wet, dear. I hope the new roof is going on before the show, dear. You'll have to give out umbrellas.
No, it's not that bad. It's not
Get up there
leaking
with
too
a.
much.
You don't need a new roof. I'm going to tell you now,
I'll
Sam.
send Adam up there with some tarpaulin. That'll be all right.
Sam, you don't even need that. Can I just tell you one of the secrets of the world? In fact, you can't see your screen at the moment, can you? Everyone, just a minute.
No.
Stay there. Now, this is what you need. This repairs everything. Gaffer tape. Gaffer tape, darling. This is the most wonderful ever invention, and it fixes absolutely everything. Gaffer tape. Now, I had...
You are so right. I fixed my piano stool with that.
There you go.
This evening.
There you go. I had a leaking gutter. A leaking gutter
Have you?
5 years
how
ago.
you say that, love. Oh,
5 years ago, I got up on my ladder and I put gaffer tape where the leak was. That's 5 years ago. Still not leaking. Still not leaking.
Fabulous.
Oh, it fixes
Fabulous.
everything. One of my friends had a terrible car accident and nearly lost an arm. Fortunately, I was near at the time and I picked up the arm off the road, put it back onto his torso, gaffer taped it up, and it is still hanging there now. Get yourself some gaffer tape, darling. That's all you need. Go up there, but where the holes are in the roof, you just get a bit of gaffer tape, and that's it. Sorted. Sorted, dear. Sorted.
Oh, bless you. Yes, I'll have to go to the car boot sale and buy some more gaffer tape.
Oh, you can go. Have you got a B&Q on the island or something like that? Little
Yes, we have. Yeah.
hardware shop or something like that. So I always find in B&Q you've got older shop workers there. They're very helpful. Very helpful.
They are, and they're very knowledgeable too.
Yes, they are.
I mean, I was in my local one. I'm going to get Adam to come down and fit me a new kitchen.
Oh, is he doing
and,
yours as well? He's doing my mates at some point as well.
Yeah, he's a busy boy, bless him, isn't he?
Yeah,
so
good.
So I've been searching in B&Q for bits and pieces that I need for that.
Right.
So I've just got to find a home for all my junk before I can.
Have you got a lot of rubbish? Have you? Oh no, get rid of it. I've been doing that for a while.
I've just got lots of bits, from grandparents and great-grandparents, and it's all stuff that I really like, and I'm loath to get rid of, but I am a bit of a hoarder when it comes to stuff.
Yeah, I mean, me too.
So
I've
it's got to go.
I've got this sideboard downstairs that was my mum's, and I won't get rid of it because it was my mum's, and people come around, why have you got that over there? Well, because it was my mum. It's nothing special. It's not like an antique or anything like that. But, you know, she bought it early 80s, and I remember the bloke coming up to deliver it, and he bought it and set it all up. There was none of this DIY crap, dear. You can buy like 10 bits of wood and a few screws, and you have to sit there putting a damn thing together yourself. No, men would come and lift it up 2 flights of stairs and put it in position, dear. That was so much better. So much better.
And
anyway,
it was built to last, Chris. That's the point,
yes,
it
is.
was built to last.
Yes, it is. You know, like certainly with some of the old MFI stuff and that, you'd set it up and it'd be, and you give it a push, and the whole thing would collapse. It's not. People
absolutely.
say that, oh, it wasn't that bad. Yes, it was. Especially, I tell you, a good example of this was a bookcase that I bought. I think it was MFI anyway. So this bookcase was so tall, and it was, 2 planks of wood on the side and about 4 planks of wood there. Now, on its own like that, you only had to push it to the side, and the whole thing would just collapse, and the screws would come out. Now, it was made to not fall over simply by nailing in the bit of backboard. Once you had the bit of backboard in, it kind of stopped the whole thing going to the side. And that's what the whole thing was held up with. This thing I've got downstairs, there's no way that's ever going to collapse.
Well, MFI stands for might fall in. So
Well, it did. I remember the bloke coming up. There, and he put it in position. And my mum says, "How do I clean it? Do I polish it?" And he said, "No polish." He said, "Just a damp cloth now and again to wipe the dust off. That's all you need to do." I remember. My mum was so proud of this thing, and now it's downstairs, and I can't get rid of it. Same as yourself. I bet you got loads of crap there, haven't you? Hey?
Oh, it's all got to go though. It's got to go because I'm having walls taken down. So,
are you?
You know, there won't be any room for furniture in. Well, I'm knocking through the music room into the kitchen.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's going to be extended like that. So 2 walls have got to come down.
Yeah.
And so the furniture that I've got up against the walls has got to go. So, which is a shame really, because I've got a lovely bureau with a glass cabinets either side, and I've got I collect glass and china, and I'm shocking at it, you know. So, any time I walk past anything sparkly, I'm like a magpie. So I've got to have that. So charity shops love me. They see me coming and they invite me in, you know. Because they go, there's that woman. She'll love that glass, that tatty glass that we got in last week.
There's like a garden centre near me, and it's also got little shops outside it doing various different things, log fires and this, that, and the other, and kitchens and this. There's one particular place, and you would love it. In there is all second-hand. I can only describe it as stuff, cups, saucers.
I'm so there. That's Adam and I as well. We're car booties. We love it. Yeah. You know, whenever I'm with Adam, it's always a car boot sale.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
But just this shop is like a car boot sale, but in a shop. And it's all in. You just walk around, pictures on the wall, little china thimbles. I bought my mate these 2 cats because it looked like his cat. He's got this cat called Ralph, which is, is it a ragtail?
Okay, don't know.
I can't remember what sort of cat it is now, but it's a beautiful cat, and I saw these cats that look just like him. Now the thing, it had a little chip out of the foot, but that doesn't matter, you know. And I think I paid a couple of quid. I said, "There you are, I got those for you," and it's just full of stuff like that. Oh, you would love it in there, Sam.
Oh yeah, I would. That's it sounds like a dream to me, but actually living hell to my poor parents and my daughter.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
they dread it when I come back from anywhere, and they kind of go, "Where have you been? You've got shopping bags. What's in there? Nothing." And then they unwrap it, and there's china and glass and bits of dirt, you know, where you just go, "Well, where are you going to put that?" I've no idea where I'm going to put it, but I like it.
yeah, I don't blame you. You buy what you want anyway, Sam.
Yeah, I'm a shocker. Well, it's good to talk to you, sweetie.
You too, Sam. Lots of love to everyone on the Isle of Wight there.
Thank you, darling.
And
speak soon.
Keep listening to Vectis Radio, my friends on there. Vectis Radio.
Yes. Yeah, we do. They've gone sort of commercial now. They've gone from just being online.
That's right.
To actually having their status. I don't really understand it, but you know, they're doing good things there anyway. So.
Do you listen to Vector's Humphrey? He's got
No,
him and his daughter. I think they're on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon. Shania.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, two good friends of mine who watch this show. Actually, they sometimes call in as well.
Yes, I've seen you. I've heard you speaking to them when they've phoned in and stuff.
He's on in the afternoon.
commented,
Lovely chap. I've met him a couple of times, and his daughter and their son as well. They're all a lovely family. Such a lovely family, they really are. Have a nice evening, Sam. Thanks for calling in, darling.
Thank you, darling. Speak soon.
Cheerio.
Lots of love. God bless.
Bye-bye. There we are. Sam on the Isley widget. Let me just do something there. I always keep the number in there so that I can sort of refer to people as they call in. Oh, hello, Sam. And they always try, how does they know it's me? Well, your name comes up once I've put it in there. All right. Let's just go back a little bit there. Where are we going now? Alan says sausage and tomato were my favourite crisps. Oh, I've never had those. Sausage and tomato. No, it's got to be cheese and onion for me. Cheese and onion. Ashley's off to bed. Good night, Ashley. Good night, Ashley. Good evening to Danny Clements joining us. Mike says he saw that plane, the plane on New Zealand, and he says it looks pretty cool. It looks like a cross between a plane and a helicopter, but I reckon it would be pretty fun to drive. I don't think you're going to have to drive these self-driving planes or indeed the car things. I think it's all going to be automatic. I would imagine navigation-wise, it's probably easier for them to set up automatic navigation for a flying device than a car. And I'll tell you why. What have you got up in the sky that's going to get in the way? Okay, other planes, birds, kites. That's about it, isn't it? Not a lot else. Whereas down there, you've got the pedestrians, the other cars, the buildings, the lights. There's so much. I can't... See, I talked about this on one of the daytime shows some time ago now. And the thing is with the self-driving cars, like they don't want to knock anything. Okay? So let me give you this situation. So you're driving along through London. Not a burglar, a mugger. A mugger steps out in front of the car. Now, what's the car going to do? It's going to stop, isn't it? Assuming that it can't go round, because there's no space, the car will stop. The mugger comes through towards your car, smashes your window, beats you up and takes what you got and walks off. That's why I think we're a long way off from automatic cars. It's all very well getting them to avoid this and stop there, but if they are made not to kill anyone, which I assume they will be so, then it will be very easy to mug someone in a car. Unless you've got some great big bloke sitting next to you looking after you. Don't you think? I think there's a lot to overcome driving an automatic car, making a car be automatic on a road, than there is in the air. We've already got planes. All these planes up there, they land and take off themselves. Pilot's only there if something goes wrong, which it rarely does. So I think it will be a lot easier to do the navigation software for flying craft than it is for cars on the ground. Yes. Gaffer tape took the hairs off the back of my head. Yeah, did I put some on your head? Maplin's is closing, Alan. What are we going to do? Now, I feel a bit sorry for the staff in Maplin's, and I'm sad to see Maplin's go, because at the end of the day, if you want something quick, you go into Maplin's and get it. It was always more expensive there, sometimes 3-4 times the cost of buying something online. But nevertheless, Maplin's was there, wasn't it? If I want a microphone lead, our Maplin's is closing. I was in there the other. I thought, I'll have a quick look round. There was nothing in there that I wanted. But if I want a microphone lead now, there's nowhere in Bracknell for me to buy one. I've got to order it online. That's it. There is nowhere to buy a microphone lead, perhaps an audio... Okay, Curry's have got them, but you know how much they charge from in Curry's, don't you? leads and all this. I never understand these people. And they are, I mean, it's not people's fault. They don't understand. But they are sold gold-plated leads for like £100 for their HD tellies. Let me tell you, you do not need to spend £100 on a cable. Okay? That is the biggest load of bull you've ever heard in your life. And so many people are taking in on it. If I set up for you a DVD player, I don't know, a Blu-ray player, and a HD telly with two cables, one that costs £10 and one that costs £100, you would not be able to tell the difference. I promise you that. It's the biggest load of rubbish you've ever heard. And Currys sell these leads, these gold-plated leads or whatever they are, 80, 90, £100 for one of those. Do not buy one. You don't need it. You go out and buy the cheapest one you possibly can. These leads either work or they don't. There is no difference in the quality going from one to the other. If it doesn't work, then there's a break in it somewhere. They just work. You do not need to spend £100. Never ever go and buy a lead for £100 for a HD telly. You just go and buy the one online for like $6.99 or something like that. So many people are conned into buying those things, but it will be sad to see. The Maplins go. Thank you, Heidi. Yeah, a ragdoll cat. I think it's a ragdoll cat. I think you're right. It's grey and it's got a black face. Some people call him blackface. My mate gets very upset by that. These kids come back and say, like, you know, there are only kids, I suppose. And I say, where's Blackface today? And he goes, his name is Ralph because he's got a black face. Oh, it's a beautiful cat he is. Oh, such a beautiful cat. Really is. Hello to Ian Scott. Hello, Ian. Long time since I never went over to Apple, Ian. Ian spent a long time, about 10 years ago, trying to get me to move from PC to Apple, and I never did. I got the iPhone, but I never switched my computers over to Apple. No, I just couldn't do it. I was hooked into this system, you see. Hello to Louise. Evening, Louise. And Mike says, well, Control, I mean it anyway, would be fun. Yeah, I suppose so. To fly one of those things yourself. Adrian says, what else do you use gaffer tape for, I wonder? Well, you tell me, Adrian. We all want to know, love. We all want to know. All right? Okay, gang, I'm going to leave it there. We're going to do Tuesday's birthdays first. First of all, happy birthday, Tuesday, to Peter Lake, who's my friend's daughter, Bernadette Lake. It's his birthday today, or yesterday rather, on Tuesday. Happy birthday, Peter. Hope you're well up there in Lincolnshire. Tony Aubrey was 53 years old on Tuesday as well. Happy birthday to you, Tony. Craig Steele is a very young 38 years old on Tuesday. Happy birthday, Craig. Fabrice Perrett. Happy birthday, Fabrice. Bill Scales, 66 years old on Tuesday. And Martin McManus is... Oh, you got one of those beards, Martin. Get rid of it, dear. I don't like beards. No, I'm only joking. You have what you want. Happy birthday to you as well, Martin. So let's sing a little song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter, Tony, Craig, Fabrice, Bill and Martin. Happy birthday to you. All right? I know it was your birthday yesterday, but there we are. Kevin says, I want one of those Union Jack cups, do you? Want one of these? Look at this. Wendy Young done these for me. She's one of my good friends. Wendy done these for me. I did years ago, I did do some United Kingdom Talk cups, and we did those, and we gave some of those away. So that was nice. All right, that's it then. Okay, just to let you know, tomorrow, it's today now, I will be with you tomorrow as usual in the morning, around about 9:30 tomorrow morning, hopefully, for our morning show, and then I'll tell you about what I've been doing and Slimmer's World News and all that business. But tonight, Wednesday night, I'll be hosting a quiz. If you're in North London, we've always got Ray Reynolds' team is coming along tonight. If you want to come, it's at the King's Head Theatre Bar, Upper Street, Islington. Starts at 8:30 through to 10:30. 2 rounds, 2 lots of questions, a picture round, and a music round. That's tonight, Wednesday night, at the King's Head Theatre Bar. Now, it's completely free to enter, okay? There is no charge for you entering the quiz. You just join in and you can win a £30 bar tab. So that's tonight from 8:30 King's Head Theatre Bar. Thanks very much. Louise says, when you come into Woking again, was that for the... Louise, were you at the... what was it now? What's the name of that pub? The Fox and Hounds? Fox and Firkin? What's the name of that pub I did the... It was a charity event I did there, wasn't it? About 6 months ago now for the Manilow Music Project. I'm just trying to think what the name of the pub was. Fox. What's the name of that pub again, Louise? I can't remember. Look at Alan trying to sell my mugs. No, don't pay him for those. Don't pay. Thank you. The Fox and Flower Pot. Yeah, the karaoke. I haven't got a booking there. There's not another charity one there. But I don't have a booking there. If he wanted to do a Thursday or a Tuesday, but he probably would have asked if he wanted me to do one. So I don't know what entertainment they have there during the week. I don't think they have anything at all, do they? Or anything like that. I don't know. I don't think he'd want one on a Tuesday or Thursday. If he did, he'd probably have said something. So not coming to Woking at the moment, darling. All right, my love. Mark says he's just got home. Corv, we're just about to finish now, Mark. You've missed the show, dear. Missed the show. Mike says my sister might be moving to that area. Highbury and Islington. Oh, really? Wow. Well, you'll find it expensive. I tell you what, there's so many restaurants out there in Islington. They're open all night. It's actually a nice street going up and down there. There's a lot of restaurants. You're not short for entertainment in Islington. You're really not. Good. I'll leave you there, boys and girls. Have a pleasant sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, around about 9:30, 10 o'clock, all right? Thanks so much for watching and listening to the show, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.